Okay, this is the main power panel above and in front of the driver on an MC9 custom coach. And to the best of my knowledge, I have tracked the incoming 250 volt 50 amp plug to this main switch that has generator off and shore positions. And I'll describe in the notes what's connected to what. But it looks like these main cables on the right come down and around, I don't know if you can see here, and go up through an analog ammeter, appears to be, and then they come up and over, and it's hard to see, but they come up to the top left and right, or L1 and L2, I call it, for the legs 1 and 2 of a Pushmatic circuit breaker board. Now, why there's some of the wires coming off of that circuit breaker board are red, why one of them is green, there may be some funny business going on, and because they did do some reconfiguring or repurposing of the wire in the rear. I have not yet found an engine preheater, heater block, yet they changed the outlets in the rear to work off the electric light system, which is not in accordance with how Custom Coach usually does it. I also can't find a neutral here. Normally there's a neutral between them, but I don't see that. So because what I'm doing here, and by the way, this is our, over to the left, this was formerly my combined neutral and ground bus, and you can see this green wire with the screw in the end. It was screwed into that, and that came from the center terminal of this switch. So that's the neutral. The other two are the legs. Leg 1 is on the front, leg 2 is on the rear, two terminals. And so this, I've removed that, and I'm planning to put it into a neutral bus bar over here. This one appears to be grounded through those bolts. There's a bolt right there in the center of the screen with the Phillips head, and another one there. Going into it was this bundle of wires and this bundle of wires. And I've just put wire nuts on the tips just to keep things separate as I'm testing and trying to trace which ones are neutral and which ones are ground. Because obviously they didn't stick to a really good standard of green for ground and white for neutral. There's a bit of red in there and black, and who knows what all that means. Some of this may be related to this circuit and this circuit. This bottom one, by the way, is, as I recall, washer, dryer, and range. So those are 250 volts. They go across both. That may be part of it. As far as the green one, has to do with the galley. And by the way, just ignore the blue painter's tape. That's just my way of telling me what to do when at a certain point. The numbers are how many ohms of resistance I got through them, and I was trying to calculate if there was any extra. So 8 ohms through the heaters, it looks like is pretty much normal. The water heater is 10, and not sure what the bath heater was. So my question is, am I going to be safe to separate the neutrals and the grounds here? Or is this kind of a circuit breaker panel, especially with this kind of 240 volt wiring for the washing machine and dryer and range, and the last two here, signified by the gray and the red, going to give me some problems. My goal was not to touch the hot wires at all. as little as possible, and then to just sort through which of these capped wires is connected, for example, to the ground terminal of a receptacle or a plug-in receptacle, and which one is connected to the neutral. And I'm not sure I'll be able to disconnect everything anyway, but I have confirmed and made a table of what is connected to the switch in what positions. I have not removed the switch. I'd rather not do that. I tend to break things if I do too much. I did label it leg 1, leg 2 with a neutral in between to signify the front and rear. But that's where we're at. There is a switched terminal here. This yellow is 110 that's switched. And then these yellows, the yellows there are the galley, lighting, and receptacle switches. I'm not sure if I got the order correct, but that's it. And by the way, the red wire, I believe, well, there's a somewhere in there, that one right here is the 24-volt fridge wire. It's plenty big, but it's being supplied by one that seems a little bit too small. Looks like it's that white one, which looks more like a 12 than a 10. Thank you for taking a look at this. And that's where we are now.